much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. My name is Aaron, your residential host. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. We are going to talk about the Indianapolis Colts, and Anthony Richardson is back, everybody. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, my predictions on the Rams game this weekend. I think it's going to be a great big weekend for the Colts and Richardson to really put their stamp on the team and have a great blowout loss. But before I tell you how all that's going to happen, let's thank our sponsor, Reynolds Wrap. Reynolds Wrap is an American company making a great American product that can be used in every single household across the globe. Wrap everything cold, hot in Reynolds Wrap. Transfer it from the oven to the grill. Get everything you need wrapped up in Reynolds Wrap so that you can get back to watching the game this Sunday quicker and don't miss any of the Colts during halftime. I put wrap ribs in these things in Reynolds Wrap, put them in the oven, then take them out, put them on the grill. Reynolds Wrap works in so many ways. It's virtually impossible to find more and more uses for this product. I love it. Thank you to them for sponsoring the video. Reynolds Wrap. Get some today if you don't have it already. All right, let's get into talking about the Indianapolis Colts and Anthony Richardson, who is back, and also Ryan Kelly is back. They are cleared from concussion protocol today, and they are practicing with the team. My prediction from watching the Monday night game, the Rams and Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know the Bengals were they were desperate. They really needed to win that game. But here are the reasons why I think this is going to be a blowout win for the Colts. 41-10. That's my prediction. I hope I'm not jinxing the Colts by saying that ahead of time. But I just have great belief in Anthony Richardson and this team that they're going to come out in this home game after playing that slog of a game in Baltimore last week. And they are just going to absolutely torch the Los Angeles Rams. Anthony Richardson is back to full health. He's going to be running the ball in this game, and that is going to really catch the Rams defense off guard in this game. Last week, the Rams played against the Cincinnati Bengals, and Joe Burrow had a calf injury, and as I watched that game, he just could not move around at all. And the Rams he was really getting rid of the ball quickly, but they really had a difficult time stopping the run and stopping the pass, the short passing game for them. I think the underneath routes, like the Rams were a lot in back, in like a shell coverage, like with three safeties deep in that game. And, Burrow was having to get rid of the ball quickly. And he was able to get the ball underneath a lot. So I think the combination of Anthony Richardson throwing the ball underneath and also hitting on some home run passes, and the fact that when he runs the ball, there's an extra blocker out there, is just going to overwhelm the Rams. The other reason why I think they're going to blow them out is, and this doesn't always work out this way, the Colts have to stop the run. They've been doing a great job of it. Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. Grover Stewart's in a contract year, and he's playing balls to the wall out of his mind so far, like he wants that big money. Those two guys have to stuff the run, along with Kwity Paye and the linebackers and everybody. But if you watch Buckner in there in the middle, and I try to rewatch every game now and just watch the defensive line and the offensive line throughout the game, and you will learn so much about what's happening with the plays when you actually just watch what the offensive and defensive line are doing. That being said, Colts got to stuff the run in this game. It's just paramount. Kwity Paye. Then after that occurs, if you can stop the run, because this is what happened to Sean McVay in the Monday night game. Once he couldn't run the ball in the first quarter, he just completely abandoned it. Then you have a quarterback back there, Matthew Stafford, who is just known for throwing a lot of interceptions. And he's one of the guys that's been in the league this long, but since it's like 2013, Matthew Stafford's thrown more interceptions than any other quarterback in the league. Matthew Stafford is known to turn the ball over. You sit him back in the pocket and allow, they have no threat of the running game, and the Colts, which have a pretty good their ranking. I'm just looking up the Colts rankings right here of just like how they rank this. Both the Rams and the Colts are in top 10 for pass rushes in the NFL right now. So the Rams pass rush grade is 75.7. I don't know exactly how they grade that. And the Colts is 74.7. So, both the Rams pass blocking grade is 37.8, which ranks them 30th in the league in pass blocking. That's what I saw in the Cincinnati game. Their left tackle is banged up. Their left guard is banged up. If you got backups in those spots, and ever since that Wentworth, the left after the Super Bowl year, they've had a problem at left tackle. They had a big problem at left tackle last year. That can prove to just be make it a really difficult time for the Rams playing against the Colts pass rush, who might be coming into their own. Kwity Paye, although kind of slow to start in the first couple years, we like to see instant results, don't we, as fans? This is the fans' perspective. We just expect this guy's going to come out of Michigan and he's going to look like Crosby or one of these top-tier pass rushers right off the bat. We have little to no patience in this, being fans of the team. He's been on the team now 3 years, Kwity Paye. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is his third year. He's really starting to come into his own in some of these beginning games. I would love to see that continue and get it after Matthew Stafford and get a couple of stacks for Kwity Paye in this game. The other person, Cooper Kupp, is on the IR for the Rams, so he will not be playing in this game also. They have this guy, Inaku, who came out of BYU, really shifty receiver. He was one guy, I'd never seen this guy play before until I watched the Monday night game. He looked absolutely incredible. So I don't know if he's going to be in the slot, if Kenny Moore's going to be on him, or if Brent's or who will shift around. More than likely, the Colts have been doing something with Gus Bradley lately that maybe Gus Bradley just likes to do, is he'll have everybody is in zone, but then Kenny Moore is matched up in man the entire time on one particular receiver. The Colts have been doing a little bit of that lately, so I could see them putting having everybody in zone and having one particular guy on this guy because he's just a shifty, over the middle type wide receiver. He's got a funny name. It's like Inaku, but he's a really, really tough wide receiver. So I really think the Colts, the momentum from the team and everything are going to propel them to a victory this weekend. And then we can start really overreacting to things once we're 3-1. Remember the Jacoby Brissett year? I remember going to a game and the Colts were 5-2 with Brissett. It's still early in the season. I always have to remind myself as a fan is anything can happen, and it is a super deep, long season. So let's not get too overreacting about these wins and everything like that. But of all of these young quarterbacks playing right now, Anthony Richardson is by far the best. CJ Stroud could definitely develop into a good quarterback, but Bryce Young is absolute garbage, and I think everybody knew that. And so the Panthers, they're going to stink forever because they wasted so many picks going up to get him, and they have the great Frank Reich as their coach. So Anthony Richardson, I think he's going to come out in this game, and he's going to run the ball for about 60 yards. I think Zach Moss is going to come out in this game and run the ball for over 100 yards, and that's going to open up some deep play action passes down the field. Alec Pierce is going to catch a deep ball for over 50 yards in this game. That's my prediction. You heard it here first. Alec Pierce, This is the time for him to come out and shine in a game. He did it last year against the Jaguars, caught a deep ball at the end of the game. He needs to catch a deep ball in this game. He's got to do it and get a little bit of confidence with Richardson. But it's going to take everything with the Rams to try to stop the Colts running game. And when they do that, it's going to open up some deep passes down the field. And the Colts, they just need to stuff the Rams running game. The Rams are going to come out maybe with some, I don't know if they're going to try some different types of things so they can get some positive yards on the ground, because they just have absolutely had no running game whatsoever, and it just kills everything that they're trying to do when they can't run the ball at all, because then they can't do all the other stuff that they want to do. And Sean McVay, he's susceptible to doing what any coach does when they can't run the ball, is like, what are you going to do? You can't just keep running it. I mean, literally, the fans will boo you off the field if you run it every time and you just are getting nothing, and they just want to see something happen. So, a lot of good stuff happening with the Colts right now, and I just like to see Anthony Richardson play a great game, and I think we're going to see that this Sunday. I can't wait. I don't know if I'm going to live stream the game again. I'll let you know more about that coming up. But the Indiana Hoosiers, the Indiana Hoosiers play at Maryland tomorrow at 3:30. I'm going to be watching this game. This is going to be a tough game for the Indiana Hoosiers. Our football team is just looks all kinds of out of sorts. If they could somehow, this is one of the games, if Indiana had a chance of even being in the, the nose-picking bowl or whatever, like the worst bowl ever, they're going to have to try to win against teams like Maryland, because that's the only chance they have. They don't have a chance against the big-time teams. So, Hoosiers at Maryland tomorrow. I really don't have any predictions for this game. I've not been following. I'm just going to be honest with you. This year, super difficult to follow the Indiana Hoosiers. Coming into the season, really having no hype, having no quarterback, having so much just not knowing what they were going to be. And then after that game at Akron last weekend, which I'm going to be honest with you, I was almost rooting for Akron by the end of that game. That's how awful Indiana looked. I was like, heck, I almost want the underdog to win in this game. It's so awful watching these Hoosiers out there making damn fools of themselves. So, Indiana playing Maryland tomorrow. Go Hoosiers. I always root for the Hoosiers in football. Luckily, we're only about 6 weeks away from seeing an exhibition basketball game. But go Hoosiers tomorrow. Go Colts on Sunday. I'm going to make another video tomorrow and talk a little bit more about the Colts and break down more of the stuff. But this is just the stuff that's been on my mind today. I've been listening to some Rams podcasts. I've been listening to some different people talk about different things. I'm not going to talk about Jonathan Taylor just yet, because next week we'll probably be talking about Jonathan Taylor the entire time once this soap opera gets going. But Colts, talk to you more tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and stay classy out there, Colts fans.